What is up, everybody? What is up? Let me just check to make sure everything is set. Let me just check. I want to check Facebook, make sure Facebook is up and running. Let's go. Let's go. Let's check YouTube real quick. Let's see. This is my first time using this. Uh, so let me just check. My channel. Boom, I'm live. Look at that. Man, I'm loving this. Ba 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 ba. So I'm gonna share this out. Come join us tonight. If you could, if you're watching, go ahead and share it. This is the Savage Collective Podcast. I am the host, Preacher. Scorpio, I don't know where he is, bro. If you're watching, ring me up. Only champs answer after 6 rings. Go black and yellow. Go black and yellow. Hit the mic. My bad. Um, but hold on a second. So tonight, uh, I like that we have this because now we can record, not only record, but we can also I think we can bring up people too. I don't know if we can, but let me see. We can. No, we're not gonna mess with anything. We're not gonna mess with anything right now. We're not doing all that. We will look more into everything as we go. Like I'll look more into how things are as like after this and tomorrow and things like that. So tonight we have an awesome episode. Like I said, this is the Savage Collective Podcast. If you have already, you've watched the first episode of the Savage Collective Podcast. We talked about just getting it started. That was me, just getting it started. And so tonight we're talking about real life. We're talking about loyalty versus independence, and you'll see the little twist that we do with it. Um, with a shout out to Miss Sabrina, because this one is for you. Saving money, values, stress management. We're going to talk about all that tonight on the Savage Collective podcast. But first, like I said, we are talking about loyalty and independence. How are we talking about loyalty and independence? What are we talking about with loyalty and independence? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm about to tell you. So let me just go to my notes. Um, just having people share it. So tonight we're going to be stepping into real life, not highlight reels, not filtered versions, but we're going to be talking about stuff that quietly shapes who you become and who you're becoming. And so we're starting off with something light. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but just know it is something light. But don't get comfortable with that lightness, because that conversation is going to go somewhere deeper than you think. We're just breaking it down with personality, loyalty, independence, why some people stay and why some people only show up when it benefits them. Then they're shifting. Then we're going to talk about some money. Who doesn't love talking about money? Because people aren't broke because they don't make money. Most of the time, people are broke because they don't understand money. They don't understand how it goes. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about values, what you stand on when life tests you, who you are when nobody's clapping. And finally, we're going to talk about stress, because pressure will either build you or break you. And my leg is wet right now because I was laying in bed and I had a thing of juice and it was open. I don't know why I told you about that, but I did. It's real, raw, uncut. And I was just thinking about it because my leg is freaking soaked right now. But anyways, a lot of people are out here pretending that they're okay, pretending that life is okay, but they're drowning. They're drowning. And so we're going to talk about that. So yes, we're going to laugh. We might cry, but we're also going to tell the truth tonight. We're going to talk about truth. This isn't just a podcast. This isn't just a YouTube show, a Facebook Live. This is where excuses die and truth lives. And so let's get into it. And so you're like, what is this funny business you're talking about? Well, I was looking for some topics on what to talk about, and I asked a certain somebody, Sabrina Hoffman, who is watching right now, and this is going to be out here forever because it's getting saved on you, everything. So you know where her mind, like the craziness that exists in this mind. I said, what should I talk about on this episode? And she said, ready for it? I wish I had like a drum roll machine, like cats and dogs. Yes, I said it. We're talking about cats and dogs. Not just cats, but also dogs. And so, what are we talking about with cats and dogs? Let's be real. Let's be real. Like, yo, anywhere, whenever you watch this, just drop it in the comments. Are you a cat person or are you a dog person? I think I'm a cat person. Cats look at dogs and they're like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You're an idiot. Maybe people are looking at me like that right now. Like, bro, why are you talking about cats and dogs on a podcast called The Savage Collective? Because cats are savage. Cats are savage. But let's be real. Dogs act like you just came back from war when you go to the mailbox. They're like, you're home. Bro, I was just gone for 2 seconds. Cats, they look at you like you live here because of them. They're like, bro, this is my house. You just reside here. Cats are ruthless. I'm just saying. Dogs are like, I love you forever. Cats are like, we'll see how today goes. We'll see how it goes today. I don't know. I might love you. I might not. Just don't touch me. Anybody who knows a cat is like, yeah, that's basically how it goes. And so dogs wait by the door. Cats disappear for 3 days. I've had it happen. Dogs need you. Cats, they tolerate you. They put up with you. Dogs are emotional support. Cats are an emotional challenge. Dogs are like, you good? Cats are like, we'll figure it out. And so that's our cat and dog talk. But you're like, yo, how are we going to twist this? How are we going to move this to something deeper? But if we're being honest, people move in that same way. Some people are like dogs. They're loyal. They're consistent. They show up no matter what. And then some people are like cats. They're independent. They're distant. They only show love on their terms. And so my question for you, and I want you guys to drop it in the comments. I'll drop it in the comments later. I'll say it right now. Which one are you? Are you more of a cat? Or are you more of a dog? Are you more of a dog in that you're loyal, you're consistent, you show up no matter what? Or are you like a cat where you're independent, you're distant, and you only show love on your own terms? Which one are you? Drop it in the comment. Let us know. Be honest, transparent. Like, this is the Savage Collective, so we are going to be savage. What are you? And then let us know which one do you think that you attract? Do you attract, if you're a dog, do you attract more dogs? People with that loyalty, consistency, showing up no matter what, or do you attract more cat personalities, independent, distant, showing love on their own terms? Which ones do you attract? Are you expecting? And this one's hard. Are you expecting dog loyalty from cat energy? Are you expecting a cat, someone who's independent, distant, only showing love on their terms, to be loyal, consistent, and showing up no matter what? And then have you ever been loyal to someone who treated you like an option? Legit questions. Drop them in the comments. And so some of us keep getting hurt because we don't recognize the nature of people that we're dealing with. We need to stop expecting consistency from inconsistent people. Stop chasing people who only show up when it's convenient. We can't do it. It's not about cats and dogs. It's about awareness. Know who you're dealing with and move accordingly. And so, who are you? A dog or a cat? But now, to a different topic. Saving money. Saving money. Man, I wish Kyle was here because, man, I'd be like, bro, you're a dog. You're a dog. I'm a big dog. I do big. No, we're not singing that song. No. We are not. But we're going to talk about money because money can expose your habits fast. A lot of people don't have money problems. They have discipline problems. Nobody has taught us. Well, I mean, some people have been taught financial literacy, but not many people have been taught financial literacy. You're not a cat. I just saw somebody text something. You're not a cat. If you were a cat, you'd be a beautiful cat. Sorry. But we need to look at how, and I'm the same. Like, I don't spend my money the way that I probably should spend my money. And it's because nobody really taught us financial literacy. Like, living check to check, and I do this, so I'm not calling anybody out on this, but living check to check isn't always income, it's habits. Sometimes we don't need to live from check to check, but we do. And so it's like, the question is, why are we spending in the way that we're spending? Why are we doing the things that we're doing, and spending our money and putting ourselves in the position that we're in? I think sometimes it goes with emotional spending, stress, boredom, validation, whatever it may be. I know for me, sometimes when I spend money, it's just because I have it. And so since I have it, I might as well spend it. But no, just because you have it doesn't mean that you need to spend it. Just because you have it in your pocket doesn't mean that it has to come out. Keep it in your pocket. Save it up. We celebrate spending, but we hardly ever celebrate savings. Like, and it doesn't help that stores like push spending. And then you have things like the TikTok shop, and you have things like Temu, and you have things like that. And then all these ads on Facebook and YouTube to spend, 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 spend. Then we have like up in Walmart, you have the clearance section so that you can spend. Everything is geared towards us spending money. Hold on. Everything is geared towards us spending money. Even if we try to save it. Even if we try to save it. Buying buying things to feel better temporarily, I think, is something that many of us do. They what is it? Retail therapy. Retail therapy. Like, a lot of people would look at someone who's in addiction and be like, "Yo, like, this is how you get out." And there's those things like drugs and alcohol and all those things, but nobody talks about retail therapy. It's called retail therapy, and it'll make you feel good. Spend your money. No, you can't. You can be a shopaholic and then be like, "Oh, it's just retail therapy." No, and I'm not saying this to knock anybody, because I do it at times. Like, I do it to get that boost of dopamine. And so sometimes we are buying things in order for us to feel better temporarily, to be like, "Oh man, look, I was able to get this." And then, and I've been guilty of this as well, but now I'm watching what I do. Um, I am at 378 when I just checked my weight. Went from 430 like 6 months ago to now 378. So let's go. I'm keep going. Just took my Zepbound shot tonight. But eating out constantly instead of cooking. How many times do we do that? Because it's easier to just go on DoorDash, to go on what is it? I don't know what Instacarts is, but Instacart's thing. If you know, uh, drop it in the comment what it's called. I'm having a blackout right now because all I use is, hold on. I use DoorDash. Um, I don't know what the Instacart ones. It doesn't matter. But the Instacart's version of DoorDash. Then you have Uber Eats, things like that. Like, it is so much easier to. I just lost my notes. It's so much easier to just buy food out. Um, I love I love anything that has to start with B, like burgers. Um, where the heck did my junk go? Oh, here it is. Sorry. This is what happens when you do it live. Well, I mean, even if I recorded, I keep this on. Here we go. Uh, but yeah, eating out instead of cooking. Cooking is so much more. I don't know if healthier, because you can eat a lot of stuff, cook a lot of stuff at home that's not healthy. Um, but it starts with that. Um, Ignoring bills. I've ignored many bills in the past. and let them pile up as I'm sitting here getting clothes and things like that. Like, bro, what are you doing? When I first separated from my wife, I racked up credit cards like crazy when I had bills. Like, why are you racking up all these credit card bills when you have rent to pay, bro? I paid the rent, but didn't pay the car, so the car got repoed. Like, but you have new clothes? Tell me how that makes sense. I had a bunch of new clothes, but then you're gonna need the clothes when you're walking. And so, oh, by the way, got my license back. So hopefully the next step is getting a car, which we're happy about, and that we're gonna have to save up. It's gonna be hard, but I can do it. And I know I have people in my corner who will help me do it. And so, saving money is self-respect in financial form. That hits because you don't really think about it as that. And I just want to say, like, I am not calling people out on anything because I am the biggest culprit of all these things that we're talking about. Like, I do not know how to save my money. But one thing, and mind you, my notes come from ChatGPT. I put in the topic, I say this is what I want to talk about, and it spits it out. So none of this I came up with it, but ChatGPT is like my producer. And so um shit, this stuff hits me too. Um but every dollar that you don't control, it controls you. Wow. Talk about and so we need to be mindful about how we are spending our money. Like, I'm just thinking as I talk about it, half the shit I buy, do I really need to buy? No, I don't. But I do anyways. And I'm working on it. I know, like, I don't need. Can I be honest with you guys? Can I be honest? I bought probably like 3 new Fortnite skins. I didn't need to buy them. I didn't. I didn't need to buy them at all, but I did. I shouldn't have, but I did. They were Walking Dead skins. What am I? They were nice, but I just because they're nice doesn't mean you need to buy them, bro. But I did. Hold on, I logged out of Facebook. Hold on. But I did. Come on. So, let me go back to my notes. If you can't manage little money, you won't manage big money. That is, it makes me think of responsibility. Like, um, with great power comes great responsibility, Uncle Ben. But for those that can have little, much is given, and so um, we need to be mindful about the little money because if we can't handle a couple bucks, how do we expect to handle 200, 400, 600, 800? Keep going up. How are we going to handle it if we can't handle the small amounts? And then we need to start small. Uh, there's this box, and I think I might try to get one, and we'll even unveil it on one of the episodes. But um, it like has numbers, and you put it in, and you check off $1, and then if you have 5, you put in 5 and check off 5, and so it helps you. I forget how much like the grand total is at the end of the day, but it helps you save money. And so the concept is, one, it makes it like a game in saving, but you start small, fives, tens, even ones, like, and then use things like spreadsheets in books to track your spending for awareness, so you can know what am I putting my money towards, and then look back on it at the end of the month and say, did I really need to spend money on this? And then start to change those habits. And then I love this, cut one unnecessary habit out. You don't have to do it all at once. I can't even do it all at once. I can't do it all at once. And so you're going to have to do everything bit by bit. Cut one unnecessary habit out every month. That's why it's important to track it, because then you can look and you can be like, oh, yo, right here, I probably didn't need to buy 3 new Fortnite skins next month. Well, I'm not buying any. Let me drop to 2. And then let me start considering, do I even need to buy this Fortnite skin? Yes, I do. It's important, especially because we're going to start streaming. Then we need to you should separate your needs from your wants. Like, do I need to buy Fortnite skins? Yes, I do. No, I don't. But do you need to spend it on this? And put everything that you buy in need and want categories, because then you can look, I don't really need to buy this, but I need to buy this. I want to buy this more. But then things like bills and electric and rent and electric and cell phone bills and things like that, those are our needs versus wanting to buy the Rick Grimes Fortnite skin. You don't need to. And so drop in the comments again. Let us know, what is your worst money habit? What's your worst money habit? Like, when you go to spend money, what is the worst money habit that you have? And then what's one thing that you could cut out right now? When you look at your money spending, what is one thing that you can cut out right now? And then do you spend money based on emotion or purpose? Emotion or purpose? I know for me, half the time I spend off emotion rather than purpose. And so I want you guys to remember, before we jump into talking about values and who we are as people, money does not change you, it reveals you. If you want a different life, you need different habits. If you want a different life, you need different habits. And so I want to transition now, like we said, to values. Who are you really? And so let's talk about our values. I got this one from a discussion, not a discussion that I was having, but from a school discussion from the topic. And so let's talk about values, because this is where a lot of people fold. Everybody has values until they get tested. Well, you still have values even when it's tested. And so values, saying versus living your values. You can say a lot, but it's a whole thing to live those values. And inside those values, you have things like integrity, which is doing the right thing even when no one's watching. Standing alone versus fitting in. To stand true to your values, to hold true to your values, it costs you something. No one in life has stood by their values and not had to pay something in the long run. It's the truth. Everybody who has been asked to pay something, not money, but pay something, has stood on values. And so are you going to stay loyal even when it's inconvenient? Are you going to tell the truth even if it hurts? Are you going to stand on values? And so the question is, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? Do you stand for truth? Do you stand for family? Do you stand for hard work? Like those are the type of values that we need to have. Being someone who gives of yourself and tries to help as many people as you can. Someone who looks out for other people. Like those are values. And then what kind of things aren't you going to tolerate? Drop them in the comments. Like what kind of things don't you tolerate? People that are rude to other people, who put other people down. Like we can't tolerate those kind of things. People that are bullies, things like that. And then, have you ever been asked to betray your own values? Because sometimes we are. Some people don't lack opportunity, they lack standards. There are a lot of people that lack standards, that lack values. And we see it all the time. The people that are on the street and try to kill people unalive people. Those kind of people who like to steal from people and cheat people over and try to get one over on everybody. No, we need to try to help people. We are one community. We need to love one another. We need to look out for one another. Like that's what we need to do. I'm not saying don't get your get backs. I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself, don't stick up for yourself, but we can't be bullying, and we can't be putting people down. We have to look out for one another because we're all here together. We're all here together. Like we need to. If you don't define your values, the world, I promise you, the world will define your values for you. And you might not like who you become from it. I know when I just straight up, when I was in addiction, I did not like what I was becoming, who I was becoming, because and don't get me wrong, because there are times, even when I was in addiction, where I had to do things in order to survive. And I'm not talking about those things that people force us to do, those things that we feel we have no other choice but to do because we are looking out for those that we love. We are standing on values in that sense. But I'm talking about things that I had no business to do, but I did it anyways. And I went away from who I was and started to become someone who I wasn't. And so lastly, I want to talk about stress management because this is a huge one. Like I am right now working on trying to get anxiety medicine because I do have lots of stress. Like I sometimes we make things more stressful than what we like need to. But let's stop pretending people are stressed out right now. There are people who are, and I think one reason, there's a lot of people who fall into the same category where we look out for so many people, we try to help so many people, we put so much responsibility on our shoulders that we feel stressed and we feel drained, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with it, so they try to escape it. Like and even without them realizing it. And so we put all this, that's the main reason why I fell into addiction, because I had so much stress piling up that I wasn't talking about. That I wasn't mental health is real, people. Like we need to focus on people's mental health. Like that's what I'm talking about with values, with looking out for one another. If you see someone having a bad day, go over and talk to them. See what's going on. Try to get that out of them, because there are a lot of people that are carrying a lot of weight and dealing with it the only ways they know how. And it doesn't help that society looks at people like, oh, look at you, you're dealing with that way, you're done. No, maybe we should be trying to help people. because we have stress from relationships, stress from money, stress from past mistakes, stress from current life. Like, there's so many things nowadays that cause us stress. Like, it's crazy. I don't know how any of us are able to just walk around and breathe because so much is pushed on us. And then a lot of times, and I do this quite a bit because I do not like to deal with it, we avoid it rather than face it. We avoid it rather than face it. And then we try to numb the behavior, whether that's by retail therapy, by scrolling, by turning to a substance, by distractions, whatever it is. We try to not hide from it, but we try to deal with it in the only ways that we know how. And again, I myself, I am the biggest culprit. Like, I turn to people, I turn to activities, I turn to substances, I turn whatever it is that I can get my hands on, I try to use in order to deal with the stress, the anxiety that comes from just living. And so we need to not ignore our stress, because ignored stress becomes destruction. And so what you don't deal with will deal with you eventually. We're coming to a close, but we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. We can't bottle it up inside. We have to talk about what it is that's stressing us out. We have to. Like, it's not one of those like, oh, I'll let it go. No, we have to talk about it, or it's gonna bring us under. Then we have to move. Like, I think one of the best ways to deal with stress is just move, walk around, like work out, whatever it is. Journal your thoughts. Like, half the time we stress is because we do bottle it up. And I understand sometimes you don't want to talk to people about it. That's why we need a journal. I've started journaling. And it's helped me let certain things out that I'm feeling inside. Then we need to set boundaries and then take responsibility instead of blaming. Like, sometimes the things that we stress about are things that we've caused. I know that myself. Some of the things that we stress about are things that we have done. And so we need to take responsibility for certain. I'm not saying everything that we stress about, just some of the stuff. And again, I know from experience. I know because I am in the same boat. Nothing that I talk about is something that I don't deal with. I'm not going to do that. That's what's so savage about this podcast. Like, everything that we talk about, whether it's me, whether it's Scorpio, whether I get another co-host or whatever, like, whatever we talk about is stuff that we are dealing with ourselves. Because I'm not gonna tell you how to walk a certain road if I'm not trying to walk that road as well. And so, like, in closing, I drop it in the comments, like, how do you handle stress right now? How do you handle stress? Do you face it or do you run from it? Put it in the comments. And then let us know what's one thing that's stressing you out that you're avoiding. One thing that you're avoiding that you're stressing. And so, listen, you don't need a perfect life to have peace. You need discipline in how you respond to pressure. I'll say it again. You don't have to have a perfect life to have peace. You need discipline in how you respond to pressure. I needed to hear that. And so, tonight, we talked about a lot of things. But before I close, I just want to say, if you have not yet liked or subscribed, to make sure, if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure to pop over to YouTube, the Savage Collective Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you know whenever we do this. And so now that I have this and I know that I can do lives at the same time, we're going to do this shit all the freaking time. I was about to say another word, and YouTube or Facebook might have banned me, and we don't want that. Don't want to be in jail. And so we're going to do this shiznit all the time. We're going to be busting out episodes. If you want to be on the Savage Collective Podcast, let me know. Let me know, because we will get you on. We'll get you on. And then we have merchandise. I just made a shirt. I fucking hate it here. Yes, I made that shirt. So right now it's just in black and white. If you want another color, let me know. Someone told me that they wanted a pink color, so I'm gonna work on that. So if you want a different color than just black and white, let me know, and we can get that done. Anything else? We might do this again tomorrow night. I don't know. Depends on if I can come up with another topic. Hopefully Scorpio will be on next time. I know you guys probably missed the heck out of him. But he probably went to sleep. I know he was making dinner and everything. He was making burritos. I had for dinner. I bought from Wegmans. If you're in the New York area, you know what Wegmans is. If not, you don't know what Wegmans is. But I bought the other day. They're like these dumplings, like little dumpling bites. I ate probably like 6 of them, and no, I threw it away. It was disgusting. But go ahead, like, subscribe, let people know about this, share this, put it out there. We need to just for the mental health aspect of it. We need to stick together, and we need to let people know. If you need help at all, let me know. Reach out to me, whatever time it is. If you need help, if you need to talk, I'm here, and I can point you into the right direction as well. Don't fight your battles alone. That's why we are here together. And so tonight we talked about cats and dogs, but really we talked about people. And then we talked about money, but really we talked about discipline. And then we talked about values, but really we talked about identity. Lastly, we talked about stress, but really we talked about survival. And so this life is going to test you. I promise you. You will not get out of life without being tested. And we don't have a chance to study for it, but we do have a chance to prepare for it, because it will test us over and over again. But the question is, are you building something strong enough to withstand it? Are you building something strong enough to withstand it, or are you folding every time that it gets heavy? Take something from this, apply it. Like if you listen to this and you don't apply anything, what's the point? And I'm not even saying you have to apply, just try. Because I'm going to try. Because like I said, I need this probably more than anybody watching this will ever need it. I do this half the time for me, because I need to hear this shit. And so take something from it, use it, apply it, move different, because change doesn't come just from hearing. Change comes from doing. And so I'm Preacher. I am your host, Preacher, and this is the Savage Collective. Stay savage.